The void was blacker than any night the Vexar had ever seen. A single red light blinked on their main screen, slow and steady like a heartbeat. The Vexar commander, Lord Kresh, leaned forward in his throne of cold metal. His claws clicked on the armrest. Terra 9, he hissed. 2 million humans. Weak shields, no fleet. His fleet, 3,000 silent black ships, slid out of hyperspace without a sound. No lights, no engines, just shadows that swallowed stars. On the planet below, every city went dark at the exact same second. Street lamps died, houses turned black. Even the moon colony on the far side cut its power. Kresh smiled, sharp teeth shining. They hide. Good, fear makes meat tender. He gave the order. 10,000 shock troops dropped in silver pods that burned red as they fell. The first pod hit an empty street. Dust rose, nothing moved. A second pod landed beside a playground. The slide still swung, but no child sat on it. A soldier kicked open the door of a house. Inside, warm dinner on the table, steam rising, chairs pushed back like someone had just stood up. No people. The soldier's scanner beeped, 0 life signs. He looked at his partner. Where are they? High above in orbit, the Vexar fleet waited. Their jammers filled every channel with white noise. No human could call for help. Kresh watched the silent planet and felt proud. 47 species had fallen to this plan. Jam the comms! Kill the power. Burn the world. Simple. Perfect. Repeat. Then a tiny light appeared on the dark surface. One house far from any city glowed soft yellow. A little girl's hologram stood in the window. She waved. Pink dress, big eyes. She smiled and said in perfect Vexar language, Hi, come play hide and seek. The nearest squad laughed. Primitive trick. Child's game. They marched toward the light. The squad never came back. Kresh frowned. Another squad followed the same hologram down a different road. They vanished too. A third squad found the glowing house. The door opened by itself. Inside, toys on the floor, a half-eaten cookie, and a single red balloon floating to the ceiling. The balloon popped. Darkness swallowed the house. Radio silence. Kresh stood. Send a full company. Burn the trick. 100 Vexar in heavy armor stormed the empty town. Their boots echoed. Their guns hummed. They kicked in doors, empty. They shot windows, empty. They reached the playground. The slide still swung. A soldier touched it. The metal was warm, fresh. Far below the town, deep under rock and steel, Captain Elena Reyes watched on a small screen. She wore a simple gray uniform. Short black hair, calm eyes. Around her, 50 humans sat at consoles made from old mining gear. No fancy lights, just wires and coffee cups. Reyes pressed a button. Phase 1 complete, she said. They took the bait. On the surface, the Vexar company formed a circle in the playground. Their captain raised a fist. Prepare orbital strike on this grid. The sky above them cracked open. A Vexar cruiser lowered its main cannon. The soldiers cheered. Finally, something to shoot. Reyes smiled in the bunker. 60 seconds, she whispered. She turned a dial. Every light in the bunker turned red. Up in space, the cruiser's cannon glowed white. The targeting computer locked on the playground. The captain on the ground gave a thumbs up. The cannon fired. The beam never reached the planet. Halfway down, the sky flashed blue. A cargo ship marked Food Supply, Do Not Shoot appeared out of nowhere. It flew straight into the beam. The cruiser exploded in a silent orange flower. Metal rained across the stars. Kresh stared at the empty space where his ship had been. What was that? He shouted. His officers had no answer. Reyes leaned back in her chair. They study our old battles, she said to her team. We just gave them a new page. She pressed another button. Deep under the planet, 200 mining drones woke up. Each carried a belly full of plasma. They rose through hidden tunnels like metal wasps. On the surface, the Vexar captain in the playground looked up. The sky was full of stars again. No cruiser, no beam. Just quiet. He spoke into his radio. Command, we lost visual. Request static. Then a soft child's voice answered, the same little girl. You're it, she giggled. Every light in the town turned on at once. Every house. Every street. Bright white. The soldiers shielded their eyes. The first mining drone came out of a manhole. It looked like a rusty lunchbox with wings. It flew straight at the nearest tank. The tank fired, missed. The drone hit the armor and exploded. Blue fire rolled across the playground. More drones poured from sewers, from rooftops, from storm drains. Each blast took 10 soldiers. The Vexar ran. They shot the sky. They shot the ground. They shot each other in panic. Kresh watched the feed. His proud company was gone in 90 seconds. Smoke rose from the playground. The little girl's hologram appeared again, floating above the fire. She waved goodbye. Then she vanished. Kresh slammed his fist on the throne. "Find their fleet!" Scanners swept the system. Nothing. No warships. No missiles. Just empty space and one small moon that had not been there yesterday. Rhea stood in the bunker. Her team cheered. She did not smile. "They will change formation now," she said. "They always do after the first surprise." She pointed to a star map. A red line moved across it, the path the Vexar fleet would take to regroup. Right into an asteroid belt marked clear on old charts. Reyes touched the screen. Phase 2 begins in 5 minutes. She looked at a young engineer. "Are the rocks ready?" The engineer nodded. "Every asteroid is a gun now, Captain." Reyes closed her eyes for 1 second. "Good. Let's teach them why humans never fight the same way twice." High above, the Vexar fleet turned as one, engines burning blue, flying straight toward the asteroid belt. Kresh sat back. His claws stopped clicking. For the first time in 47 wars, he felt something cold crawl up his spine. The darkness was not empty. It was waiting. The asteroid belt looked dead. Gray rock spun slow in the black. No heat, no metal, just stone older than stars. Lord Kresh watched the belt on his screen. His fleet, 2,900 ships, flew in perfect arrow shape. "Engines low, guns hot. Humans run here," he said. "We corner. We crush." His officers nodded. They had done this 47 times. Deep inside the biggest rock, Captain Reyes floated in 0G. A thin cable tied her boot to the floor. She wore the same gray uniform, same calm eyes. Around her, 20 humans in black stealth suits checked rifles that made no sound. One suit had a patch, a cartoon rabbit with sharp teeth. Reyes touched the patch. "Remember," she said, "no shooting until I say." The team answered with thumbs up. On the Vexar flagship, a young sensor officer raised a claw. "Lord, the rocks. They match old charts," Kresh waved him quiet. "Humans love old tricks. We love new endings." He pressed a button. Every ship fired a warning shot. Red beams cut the dark. Rocks split. Dust clouds bloomed. Nothing fought back. Reyes watched the beams on a tiny wrist screen. "They bite," she whispered. "Good." She pressed her own button. Inside every broken rock, a railgun woke up. The guns were built from mining drills and coffee cans. Ugly, cheap, deadly. They turned toward the Vexar arrow. The first railgun fired. A steel spike the size of a bus left the rock at light speed. It punched through a Vexar fighter. No explosion. Just a clean hole. The fighter kept flying for 3 seconds. Then it tore in half. More spikes followed. One every half second. Silent. Invisible. The Vexar arrow became a graveyard. Kresh jumped from his throne. Shields up. "Return fire!" His fleet spun. Guns searched for targets. They shot rocks. They shot dust. They shot nothing. Another cruiser lost its bridge. Air and bodies flew out like rice from a torn bag. Reyes floated to a window carved in the rock. She saw orange flashes far away. "Count the hits," she said. A tech answered, 30% down, Captain." Reyes nodded. "Time for the rabbit." She pulled a small remote from her pocket. It had one red button. She pressed it. Every human ship, 47 old frigates, jumped into the belt from behind the moon. They looked broken. Engines coughed smoke. Lights blinked SOS. The Vexar saw easy meat. Kresh smiled again. "Chase!" His fleet turned hard. Engines roared blue. They flew after the running humans like wolves after deer. The human ships flew deeper into the belt. They rolled. They dodged. They left a trail of fake engine parts, real metal painted to look like damage. Vexar fighters scooped the parts. "Proof they break." A pilot laughed. Reyes watched the chase on her screen. The Vexar were 1 minute from the trap. She spoke into a tiny mic. "All ships, Project Mirror in 30 seconds." The 47 frigates formed a line. Each ship turned on a new device the size of a suitcase. Light exploded. 10,000 ghost ships appeared, perfect copies of the Vexar fleet. Same shape. Same color. Same engine glow. Kresh stared. His own face stared back from the ghost flagship. Illusion, he shouted. Ignore. But his gunners panicked. They shot the ghosts. Real ammo wasted on light. Real ships flew blind. Reyes gave the order. Now. The 47 real frigates vanished behind the biggest asteroid. The ghost fleet kept flying. The Vexar followed. Straight into the kill box. Hidden inside the biggest rock, Reyes opened a hatch. Her team floated out in stealth suits. Magnetic boots clicked on the hull. They carried no guns now, just cutting torches in a silver box the size of a shoe. Reyes pointed to the Vexar flagship sliding past, blind with rage. That one, she said. We board in 60 seconds. A young Marine gulped. No cover, Captain. They'll see us. Reyes smiled for the first time. They're busy shooting shadows. The team pushed off. 20 black suits flew across the void like silent crows. The Vexar gunners fired at ghosts. No one looked up. Reyes landed first. Her boots locked on the flagship hull. She cut a circle with the torch. Sparks floated away. The metal fell inside. She dropped through the hole. Her team followed. They landed in a dark hallway. Red emergency lights blinked. Alarms screamed, but the alarms were for the ghost battle outside. Reyes raised a fist. The team split. 10 went left. 10 went right. She took the middle alone. Her boots made no sound. She passed sleeping Vexar crew. They dreamed of victory. She reached the bridge door. It was locked. She pulled the silver box from her belt. It stuck to the door like a magnet. A soft beep. The door slid open. Inside, Kresh stood with his back to her. He screamed at his officers. Find the real ships. Burn them. Reyes stepped in. She held no gun, just the rabbit patch on her shoulder. She spoke in perfect Vexar. Looking for me? Kresh spun. His claws reached for a pistol, too slow. Reyes pressed a button on her wrist. Every light on the bridge turned off. Darkness. Then a child's voice, the same little girl, filled the room. Tag, you're it. The airlocks on the bridge hissed open. Wind howled. Papers flew. 3 officers shot into space before the doors slammed shut. Kresh floated in the dark, claws out. Human witch! Reyes' voice came from everywhere. You studied our wars. You never studied our games. A single light came on. It shone on the silver box now stuck to the main console. Numbers counted down 10. Sight area. Kresh lunged. Reyes stepped aside. He crashed into his own throne. She leaned close. Humans don't repeat tricks, Lord, we upgrade. The countdown hit 0. The box did not explode. It spoke, the little girl again. Surprise. Every screen on the bridge showed the same image. The Vexar mother fleet, 10,000 dreadnoughts, jumping in behind the moon. Too late, the ghost fleet was gone. The real human frigates waited with full guns. Kresh looked at Reyes, his proud eyes were wide. What are you? Reyes smiled. Bored. She pressed her wrist again. The bridge lights turned red. Outside the window, the first human railgun spoke. A spike took the flagship's engine. The ship shook. Reyes walked to the door. Tell your emperor hello. She stepped out. The door locked behind her. Kresh floated alone as his ship died. Far away in the bunker under Terra 9, the young engineer watched the feed. Captain boarded their flagship? Reyes' voice crackled back. Boarded, tagged, running. The engineer laughed. They'll never guess Phase 3. Reyes floated through the dying ship. Her team waited at the escape pods. They climbed in. The pod shot into space. Behind them, the Vexar flagship split in half. Orange fire painted the stars. The pod flew toward the asteroid belt. Reyes looked back once. The Vexar mother fleet filled the sky now. 10,000 ships. One small pod. She smiled again. Time for the sun trick. The pod vanished into the rocks. The mother fleet followed. They never saw the probe already diving into the system's star. It carried a crystal the size of a heart. The star began to sing. The Vexar mother fleet filled the sky like a wall of black knives. 10,000 dreadnoughts. Engines cold. Guns ready. The Emperor himself watched from the lead ship, a monster the size of a moon. His name was Vorak. Gold armor, 4 red eyes. He had ended stars. He had never lost. Below, Captain Reyes sat in the tiny escape pod. 20 Marines squeezed around her. No windows, one screen. The screen showed the star, yellow, calm, old. A silver probe no bigger than a car flew straight into it. Reyes touched the screen. "Sleep well," she whispered. The probe vanished in fire. Vorek's voice boomed across every channel. "Humans, surrender the system. Or we glass every rock," Static answered. He smiled. Silence was surrender. Inside the pod, Reyes opened a metal case. Inside, a glass ball full of black sand. Dark matter crystals. She rolled the ball in her palm. "They think big ships win wars," she said. "We think big stars do," a Marine laughed. "Crazy works, Captain." On the Mother Fleet, scanners screamed. The star was growing. Not bigger, brighter, hotter, fast. Vorak turned. "Report." An officer shook. "Energy spike. Unknown source. Core temperature rising 1% every second." Vorak snarled. "Cool it, fire ice missiles." Hundreds of white darts shot from the fleet. They hit the star, melted, gone. Reyes closed the case. Phase 3, wake the sun. She pressed a red key on the pod wall. Far away, the probe cracked open inside the star. Black sand poured into fire. The star drank it like sugar. The sky turned white, every Vexar screen went blind. Alarms howled. Vorak grabbed a rail. "Shields to max." The shields glowed blue, then cracked. The star spoke. A beam of pure plasma, thin as a needle, shot out. It moved faster than light. It cut the Mother Fleet in half. 1 second. 5,000 ships gone. No explosion. Just empty space. Reyes watched on the pod screen. The beam painted pretty lines. "Pretty," a Marine said. Reyes nodded. "Pretty deadly." Vorak's ship rocked. Half his bridge was open to space. Bodies floated. He screamed into the dark. "Find the weapon. Destroy it." Sensors searched. Found nothing. The star was the weapon. You can't shoot the sun. Another beam. Another 5,000 ships erased. Vorak fell to his knees. Gold armor smoked. "Retreat," he ordered. Engines fired. The remaining ships turned. Too slow. The star turned with them. It knew where they ran. In the pod, Reyes stood. "Open the hatch." A Marine stared. "Captain, vacuum." Reyes smiled. "We have suits." The hatch slid open. Stars rushed in. The 20 humans floated out in black stealth suits. Reyes carried the glass ball, now empty. She threw it into space. It spun like a marble. Vorak saw the humans on his last working screen. Tiny black dots against the burning star. He zoomed. One dot waved. "Captain Reyes." She held up a sign made from a dinner tray. Words in Vexar. "Boo," the star fired again. The beam missed the humans. "Hit the Emperor's ship dead center." Gold armor melted. Vorak had 1 second to scream. Then silence. The Mother Fleet was gone. 0 ships. 0 survivors. Only dust and light. Reyes and her team floated in the dark. The star calmed. Yellow again. Sleepy. Reyes spoke into her suit radio. "Terra 9, come in." A voice crackled back, the young engineer from the bunker. "Captain!" "You're alive." Reyes laughed. "Tell the colony lights on." Party time. Far away, one Vexar scout ship had hidden behind the moon. It saw everything. Engines cold, crew shaking. The pilot recorded the human pod flying home. Recorded the star going back to sleep. Recorded the empty battlefield. He turned the ship. Flew hard for Vexar Prime. He carried one message. On Terra 9, the cities turned bright. 2 million humans walked out of bunkers. They looked at the sky. No enemy, just stars. Captain Reyes landed in the playground, the same one where the first drones exploded. Children ran to her. The little girl hologram appeared again. Real this time. A real child. She hugged Reyes. "Did we win?" Reyes knelt. "We always win. Different way every time." That night, every screen on Terra 9 showed the same short video. Reyes on the Vexar bridge. The rabbit patch. The countdown. The Emperor's face when the star fired. The video ended with words, "Humans don't repeat. We create." The scout ship reached Vexar Prime 3 days later. The pilot ran to the new Emperor, Vorak's son, young, scared. The pilot played the video. The new Emperor watched his father die, watched the star wake, watched Captain Reyes wave. He asked one question. "What do we do?" The pilot had no answer. On Terra 9, Reyes sat on the playground slide. The same slide that swung empty hours ago. She looked at the stars. A Marine brought her coffee. Captain, High Command called. "They want the sun trick again." Reyes sipped. "Tell them no." The Marine blinked. "No?" Reyes smiled. "We don't repeat. Next enemy gets something new, she stood, walked to the edge of the playground. A small ship waited, sleek, black, no markings. She climbed in. The Marine asked, "Where to, Captain?" Reyes buckled in. "Home. Then tomorrow we invent tomorrow." The ship rose, left the planet, flew into the dark. Behind it, Terra 9 glowed safe. Ahead, the galaxy waited. It had learned one thing: never make humans fight the same way twice. The scout ship limped into Vexar Prime's orbit like a wounded bird. One engine coughed blue fire. The hull was black from plasma burns. The pilot, a low-rank Vexar named Tisk, stumbled out of the cockpit. His claws shook. He carried a small data cube in a death grip. Palace guards dragged him to the throne room. The new emperor, Vorak's son, sat on a throne still warm from his father's blood. His name was Vorak II. He was 20 cycles old. His gold armor looked too big. Tisk fell to his knees. "Sire, the Mother Fleet." The emperor raised a claw. "Show me." Tisk plugged the cube into the floor. A hologram bloomed in the air. The star waking. The beam of death. Captain Reyes waving. The word boo. The emperor watched his father melt. He did not blink. When it ended, the throne room was silent. Every noble, every general, every guard stared at the empty space where 10,000 ships had been. Vorak II stood. His voice cracked. "One human did this?" Tisk nodded. "One ship. One woman. One star." The emperor walked to the window. Vexar Prime's sky was red with sunset. He whispered, "We studied their wars. 47 species. They never used the same trick twice." A general stepped forward. "Sire, we rebuild, stronger, smarter." The emperor turned. "No." The general froze. "No?" The emperor pointed at the cube. "She said next time we see a human ship, run." I believe her. Far away on Terra 9, Captain Reyes stood in a small hangar. The playground was behind her. Children played. The slide swung. She wore civilian clothes now, blue jeans, white shirt, rabbit patch sewn on the sleeve. A young engineer ran up. "Captain, the Colony Council wants to give you a medal." Reyes laughed. "Tell them I already have one." She tapped the patch. The engineer smiled. "What now, ma'am?" Reyes looked at the sky. "Now we go quiet." A black ship waited in the hangar. No flags, no name. Just a number, ZO1. Reyes climbed the ramp. Inside, 20 Marines in jeans and t-shirts cleaned rifles that looked like toys. One Marine held up a new weapon, a glass tube full of green liquid. "Phase 4 prototype, Captain. Turns gravity inside out." Reyes nodded. "Pack it, we leave in 5. The ship lifted off. No roar, no light. It slipped into space like a shadow. Reyes sat in the pilot seat. She opened a star map. Red dots marked every Vexar system. She touched one far away. "Here," she said. "They'll expect us to hit close." "We go deep," a Marine asked. "Same trick?" Reyes shook her head. "New trick. Always new." Back on Vexar Prime, the Emperor called a secret meeting. No nobles. Just 5 old scientists. He showed them the cube again. "Build me a shield against the sun weapon." The lead scientist, scales gray with age, coughed. "Sire, we saw the math." The crystals bend space. "We need years." The Emperor slammed the table. "You have days." The scientist bowed. "Then we die trying." The human ship 01 flew for 7 days. It stopped at empty systems, dropped tiny probes. Each probe carried a seed, no bigger than a nail. The seeds floated into gas giants, into ice moons, into dead stars. Reyes watched them go. "Insurance," she said. No one asked what kind. On the 8th day, 01 reached the edge of Vexar space. A small patrol of 3 Vexar cruisers guarded a fuel depot. They saw nothing. The human ship was cloaked in black paint that ate light. Reyes floated to the cargo bay. She opened a crate. Inside, a child's toy. A plastic star that glowed when you shook it. She shook it. It glowed soft yellow. She kissed it. "For luck," she said. Then she threw it out the airlock. The toy drifted toward the depot. One Vexar sensor pinged. "Debris, ignore." The toy hit the fuel tanks. It stuck like gum. It glowed brighter. Then it whispered in Vexar language, the same little girl's voice. Knock, knock, the tanks opened. Fuel poured out. The cruisers turned to run, too late. The fuel cloud caught a spark from the toy. Blue fire rolled across the depot. 3 cruisers became fireworks. Reyes watched the explosion on silent screen. "Message sent," she said. She turned the ship, flew home. Behind her, the Vexar patrol sent one word to Prime: humans. On Vexar Prime, the Emperor got the report. He did not scream. He sat on the throne. He opened a drawer. Inside, a small human doll. Pink dress, big eyes. Found on a dead soldier's body after Terra 9. The doll's hand was raised in a wave. The Emperor closed the drawer. "Lock the borders," he ordered. No ships in. No ships out, ever. Years passed. Vexar space went dark. No trade, no war. Children learned one song. If you see a human ship, run and hide. The Empire shrank. Planets starved. The Emperor grew old on his throne. On Terra 9, the playground grew. New slides. New swings. Captain Reyes came back once a year. She brought candy. She told no stories. Children asked, "Did you fight aliens?" She smiled. I played tag. They laughed. They did not understand. One night, a child found an old data cube in the sand. She played it. Rhea's face appeared, young, smiling. "If you find this, remember, we don't repeat. We invent, be kind. Be clever, be ready." The cube went dark. The child kept it in her pocket. Far away in the deep black, ship Era 1 still flew. New crew, new captain. Same rabbit patch. They dropped seeds in forgotten places. They watched stars. They waited. The galaxy learned the rule. Humans don't fight the same way twice, because every time is the first time. And the last, the Vexar Empire rotted from the inside. Planets went dark one by one. No fuel, no food, no hope. Varak II sat on his cracked throne. Gold paint peeled from his armor. His 4 eyes were dull. Every day a new report came, another colony silent. Another patrol vanished. Always the same whisper on the last transmission: humans. He stopped eating. He stopped sleeping. He only stared at the human doll in the drawer. Pink dress, big eyes. One day he opened the drawer and the doll was gone. A single word was carved into the wood: tag. That night the palace lights went out. Every light on Vexar Prime died at once, just like Terra 9. The Emperor stood in total black. He heard a soft giggle. The little girl's voice. "Hide and seek," she said. Then silence. Far across the galaxy on Terra 9, the playground was full of kids. They laughed, they ran. A new slide spun fast. A boy climbed to the top. He looked at the stars. Something blinked. One red light, slow, steady, like a heartbeat. He waved. The light waved back. In the bunker below, now a museum, Captain Reyes's old chair still sat. Dust covered it. A plaque read, "She taught us to play." A teenage girl dusted the chair every week. She wore the rabbit patch. Her name was Luna. She was the child who found the cube. Luna pressed a hidden button under the chair. A panel opened. Inside, a new data cube. She plugged it into the wall. Reyes's face appeared, older now, hair gray, eyes sharp. "If you're watching, the game isn't over. The Vexar are weak. Time for the final move. Coordinates attached. Bring friends," Luna smiled. She ran to the hangar. Ship 01 waited. Bigger now, painted playground colors, red, blue, yellow. 20 kids climbed in. All wore rabbit patches. All carried toys that were not toys. One held a jump rope that cut steel. One held a ball that ate gravity. Luna sat in the pilot seat. "Ready?" she asked. 20 thumbs up. The ship lifted. No roar, no light. It flew into the dark. Behind it, Terra 9 glowed happy. Ahead, Vexar Prime waited. Blind, broken, scared. Ship 01 reached the border in 3 days. Vexar sensors were dead. No one saw the playground ship slide into orbit. Luna opened the cargo bay. She took out a single red balloon. She blew it up. Tied a string. Wrote on it with marker, "You're it." She let it go. The balloon floated down through the clouds. It landed in the palace garden. The Emperor saw it from his window. Red against black dirt. He walked outside. No guards, no servants. Just him and the balloon. He picked it up. The string tugged. He followed. It led him to the throne room. The doll sat on his throne. Pink dress clean, eyes bright. A new note in her hand. "Look up." He looked up. The sky cracked open. Not with ships. With light. 1,000 playground slides fell from orbit. Metal rainbows spinning slow. Each slide landed soft. No crash, no boom. Children poured out. Human children. Rabbit patches, smiles. They ran through the streets. They left gifts on every corner. Cookies that opened doors, teddy bears that turned off guns, jump ropes that tied tanks in knots. Vexar soldiers came out to fight. They saw kids. They lowered weapons. One soldier took a cookie. The door behind him opened to a bunker full of food. He cried. He had not eaten in months. Luna walked to the palace. The Emperor waited on the steps, old, small. She held out the data cube. "From Captain Reyes," she said. He took it, his claws shook. He plugged it in. Reyes' face filled the sky, projected for the whole planet. Vorak II. "Your father invaded our home. We played tag, you lost. Now we bring the prize." The image changed. Human ships, millions, appeared around Vexar Prime, not warships. Cargo ships, full of grain, water, medicine, toys. Rhea's voice was kind. "We don't conquer. We finish the game. Your move." The Emperor looked at Luna. "What do you want?" Luna smiled. "A rematch. But fair this time." She held out her hand. The Emperor stared. Then he took it. His claw was cold. Her hand was warm. That day, Vexar children played for the first time in years. Human kids taught them hopscotch. Vexar kids taught them star tag. No one shot. No one hid. The red balloon floated above the palace. It never popped. Years later, the galaxy told one story. The Vexar Empire fell not to bombs but to cookies. Not to fleets but to kids. The throne room became a playground. The Emperor's throne became the tallest slide. Vorak II pushed children down it. He laughed. His 4 eyes were bright. On Terra 9, old Captain Reyes watched on a screen. She sat in a rocking chair. Gray hair, rabbit patch faded. Luna's voice came through. "Grandma, we won," Reyes smiled. "Did you repeat any tricks?" Luna laughed. "Never." Reyes closed her eyes. "Good girl." The stars went quiet. "No more invasions. No more fear, just play. Because humans don't fight the same way twice. We play. And we always win." The galaxy forgot war. Playgrounds grew on every world. Slides crossed stars. Swing sets spun around moons. Children, human, Vexar, and 100 other kinds, chased each other through zero-G tag. No one carried guns, only cookies and jump ropes. But one ship still flew the dark. Ship Eero 1, now painted black again. No colors, no name. Just the rabbit patch. Captain Luna sat in the pilot seat. She was 20 cycles old, same age Vorak II had been when he lost. Her hair was short, her eyes were calm. 20 Marines sat behind her, all grown from the playground kids, all quiet. A red light blinked on the console, slow, steady, like a heartbeat. Luna touched it. A message opened, voice only, old, crackling, Captain Reyes. New players entered the game. Coordinates attached. Same rule, don't repeat. I'm too old to fly. Your turn, kid. Luna closed the message. She turned the ship, engines whispered. They flew for 30 days. No stops, no lights. They reached a dead system. No planets, no stars. Just a black hole sleeping in the middle. Around it floated a ring of silver ships, not human, not Vexar. New sharp, silent. Luna watched on screen. The silver ships fired a beam into the black hole. The hole woke. It grew. It ate light. A voice came across every channel. Cold metal. We are the enders. We finish games. All games. Forever. The silver fleet turned. They saw ship So-1, one small black dot. They laughed, sound like breaking glass. Primitive toy, the voice said. Watch. They fired a silver beam. It cut space itself. Ship 01 rolled. The beam missed. Luna pressed a button. The rabbit patch on her sleeve glowed soft green. She spoke calm, simple words. "Hi, want to play hide and seek?" The enders stopped laughing. Their sensors screamed. Ship 01 vanished, not cloaked, gone. The black hole behind them hiccuped. A tiny red balloon floated out of its mouth. It grew and grew, until it was the size of a moon. Words on it in silver paint. "You're it." The balloon popped. No sound, just light. Pure white. The light poured into every ender ship. Their silver hulls turned clear. Inside, the crews were gone, empty chairs. Empty helmets. The ships kept flying. Ghosts now. Luna's voice came from the light. Phase 1. We hide in the thing you feed. Phase 2 starts now. Ship 01 reappeared behind the black hole. The cargo bay opened. 20 Marines floated out. Each carried a child's toy. One had a yo-yo made of gravity string. One had a kazoo that played silence. They flew to the ghost ships, landed soft, walked inside. No resistance. They left the toys on the empty bridges. The yo-yo spun. The kazoo blew. Every ghost ship turned, flew straight into the black hole one by one. Gone. The black hole burped. It shrank, closed. Dead again. Only Ship 01 floated in the dark. Luna sat back. She opened a small box. Inside, the old data cube from Reyes. She plugged it in. Reyes's face appeared, very old now, smiling. Good trick, kid. But they'll send more. Always more. Keep the rule. Luna nodded. She looked at her crew. New game? 20 thumbs up. She turned the ship. Flew home. Behind her, the dead system stayed dead. No light, no sound. Just a red balloon string floating in the void. It pointed the way the Enders would come next. On Terra 9, the playground never slept. Old Captain Reyes sat on the tallest slide. She rocked slow. Luna landed beside her. Reyes did not look up. Win? Luna sat. Win. Reyes smiled. Repeat? Luna laughed. Never. Reyes closed her eyes. Good girl. That night, every child on every world dreamed the same dream. A red light blinking, a soft voice. Tag. You're it. The game never ends, because humans don't play the same way twice. We play forever, and the galaxy is the playground. The red balloon string floated for 100 years. No one touched it. No one dared. It drifted between dead stars like a warning. Children grew up. Grandchildren grew up. The story of Captain Reyes became a song. The story of Luna became a game. Hide and seek in zero-G tag with black hole balls. No one said the word war, only play. But the Enders did not forget. Deep in a place with no light, they built. Silver turned to glass. Glass turned to smoke. Smoke turned to thought. They stopped being ships. They became ideas. Cold, sharp, endless. They whispered across the dark. We finish all games. On Terra 9, the playground was now a city. Slides taller than mountains, swings that looped moons. Luna, gray hair, rabbit patch still bright, sat on the oldest slide. She was 90 cycles old. Her great-granddaughter Aria climbed up, 10 years old, big eyes, pink shoes. Grandma Luna, Aria said. The stars blinked wrong last night. Luna looked up. One red light. Slow. Steady. Heartbeat. She smiled. Time to play. Ship 01 waited in orbit. Old, patched, loved. Aria ran aboard. 20 new kids followed. All wore rabbit patches. All carried toys. A jump rope that tied time. A marble that swallowed sound. A paper plane that flew forever. Luna stood at the door. Same rule, she said. Don't repeat. Aria saluted. Yes, Captain. The ship flew. No engines, no trail. Just a soft giggle in the void. They reached the red balloon string in 7 days. It still floated, still pointed. Aria touched it. The string wrapped her wrist like a friend. It pulled. The ship followed. They came to a place with no space, no stars, no black, just silver fog. The Enders waited. Not ships now, just eyes. Billions of eyes. All watching. A voice spoke inside every mind. Game over. No more tricks. No more play. Aria stepped out of the ship. No suit. No fear. She floated in the fog. She held up the paper plane, folded from Rhea's old star map. She let it go. It flew. It grew. It became a playground. Slides, swings, seesaws made of light. The eyes blinked, confused. Luna's voice came from the ship, soft, kind. Phase 1. Give them something to chase. The kids ran out, They played, they laughed, they left cookies on the fog. The eyes followed the cookies, the eyes followed the kids, the eyes forgot the ship. Ship 01 slipped behind the fog. Arya stayed outside. She sat on a swing made of starlight. She swung high, higher. The swing looped the fog. The eyes spun to watch. Arya waved, "Hi, wanna swing?" An eye reached for her. She dodged, laughed. Another eye. She ducked, giggled. The eyes got angry. They closed in. The fog tightened. Arya swung faster. The swing creaked. She whispered, "Now." Ship 01 fired one shot. Not a gun, a song. The same lullaby Reyes sang to babies on Terra 9. Soft, slow, warm. The song poured into the fog. The eyes stopped. The eyes remembered. Not war, not end. Sleep. The fog fell asleep. The eyes closed. The enders dreamed. They dreamed of playgrounds, of cookies, of red balloons. They dreamed of losing, and it felt okay. Arya floated back to the ship. Luna hugged her. "Win?" Arya nodded. "Win." Luna smiled. "Repeat?" Arya laughed. "Never." They flew home. Behind them the fog stayed fog. Quiet. Dreaming. The red balloon string untied itself. It floated free. It pointed nowhere. Because the game was over, on Terra. 9, the city playground glowed. Old Luna sat on the slide. Arya landed beside her. Rhea's rocking chair sat empty now. A new plaque. She started the game. We keep it going. That night, every child in the galaxy slept safe. No red light blinked. No voice whispered, "Tag." Just stars, just play. Because humans don't fight the same way twice. We play the same way forever. With cookies, with laughter, with love. And the galaxy is the playground. Always. The stars stayed quiet for 1,000 years. No red lights, no silver fog, no enders, only laughter. Playgrounds linked every world. Slides crossed nebulae. Swings circled suns. Children of every shape, human, Vexar, glass, smoke, light, played one endless game. No winners, no losers, just turns. Then one red light blinked. Slow, steady, heartbeat. It came from the oldest playground, Terra 9, from the tallest slide, from the empty rocking chair where Captain Reyes once sat. A little girl climbed the slide, 7 years old, black hair, rabbit patch sewn crooked. Her name was Hope. She carried a new data cube, found in the sand, same spot as Luna's, same spot as Reyes. She plugged it into the night sky. A face appeared, not Reyes, not Luna. A face no one knew, old, kind, smiling. The face spoke with Reyes's voice, Luna's laugh, Arya's giggle, all of them at once. If you're watching, the circle closes. The game was never about winning. It was about teaching. Now teach. The cube went dark. Hope looked up. The red light blinked once. Then every star in the galaxy blinked with it. Once. Together. A heartbeat. Hope stood. She walked to the hangar. Ship 01 waited, older than mountains patched with love. 20 children waited inside, all 7 years old. All rabbit patches, all holding hands. Hope climbed aboard. She sat in the pilot seat. No one taught her to fly. She just knew. The ship lifted. No sound, no light. It flew to the center of the galaxy, to the place where the first black hole slept, to the place where the red balloon string began. They found it, the string. Still floating, still red. Hope touched it. It wrapped every child's wrist. It pulled. The ship followed. Into the black hole. No fear. No crash. Just a slide. A long, slow, colorful slide. They came out the other side. A new place. No stars. No dark. Just light. Soft, warm, playground light. In the middle floated every captain who ever flew Ship 01, Reyes, Luna, Arya. Thousands more. All smiling. All young again. All holding cookies. Reyes stepped forward. She knelt. "Welcome home, Captain Hope." Hope looked around. "Where's the game?" Reyes laughed. You are the game now. She gave Hope a red balloon, empty, waiting.